Parents, when did your child's partner win you over? I never wanted to meet any of my son's girlfriends. After my husband died, I'd seen too many relationships fail, including my own attempts at dating to believe in lasting love. Michael was smart, handsome, and successful. Why settle down at 28? When he mentioned bringing someone to Thanksgiving dinner, I sighed dramatically. Another one? He laughed. Mom, I've been seeing Sarah for 6 months. You haven't met any of them. True enough. I'd always found excuses. Sarah arrived with homemade pie and a nervous smile. Strike one, too eager to please. Throughout dinner, she asked about Michael's childhood, laughed at his embarrassing stories, and offered to help with dishes. Strike two, nobody is that perfect. So what do? I asked, arms deep in soapy water. I'm finishing my PhD in marine biology, she said, carefully drying each plate. I study how climate change affects coral reefs. Sounds expensive, I muttered, and impractical. Michael shot me a warning look from the dining room. Sarah just smiled. It's my passion. Actually, I wanted to ask your permission for something. Here it comes, I thought. Moving in together? Marriage? Michael mentioned you both used to volunteer at beach cleanups after his father died. I'm organizing one next weekend for my research group. We'd love to have you both join. I froze, plate in hand. Those cleanups had been our grief therapy. Just Michael and me against the world when everything fell apart. Mom doesn't do those anymore, Michael said quickly. I'll think about it, I replied, surprising even myself. That Saturday, I found myself on the beach at sunrise, wearing my ancient volunteer vest. Michael was shocked when I appeared. Sarah simply handed me gloves and a trash bag. No fuss. As we worked, she asked thoughtful questions about my late husband. Not prying, genuinely interested. For the first time in years, I found myself sharing stories that didn't hurt to tell. During lunch break, Sarah disappeared. Where's perfect Sarah? I asked Michael, immediately regretting my tone. Give her a chance, Mom, he pleaded. She makes me happy. Before he could say more, Sarah returned, breathless, holding something in her hand. Look what someone left behind, she said, opening her palm to reveal a weathered piece of sea glass, deep blue and perfectly smooth. My heart stopped. Blue sea glass had been my husband's lucky charm. He'd collected pieces for years. Michael told me about your husband's collection, Sarah said softly. This one's special. It's rare to find blue. Something inside me cracked open. He always said they were messages from the ocean, I whispered. I believe that, she replied, placing it gently in my hand. Our eyes met, and for the first time, I really saw her. 2 weeks later, Michael called, panic in his voice. Mom, Sarah's research boat is overdue. There's a storm. I spent the night pacing, praying to a God I'd barely spoken to since becoming a widow. Not Michael. Not again. Not this loss. When my phone rang at 4 a.m., I almost couldn't answer. They found them, Michael choked out. Engine failure. They're cold, but safe. I drove to the harbor without thinking. When Sarah emerged, wrapped in an emergency blanket, I pushed past Michael and pulled her into a fierce hug. Thank you for coming, she whispered, surprised. Later that week, I invited them both to dinner. As Michael set the table, I took Sarah to the study and opened my husband's old display case. Inside were dozens of sea glass pieces, carefully arranged. There's room for more, I said, placing her blue piece in the center. If you'd like to help build the collection. She looked at me, understanding the gesture. I'd be honored, she replied. Michael found us there, arms linked, planning our next beach cleanup. His face said everything: confusion, joy, relief. That night, after they left, I placed my wedding photo back on the nightstand after years in a drawer. She's good for him, I told my husband's smiling face. You would have liked her too.